Let's preview the Brisbane Broncos for 2025. Brian, before we go forward, we must do what?
You got to go backwards.
Got to go backwards. From a grand final, from an inch of winning a premiership, the Broncos, it ended in tears. The sacking of Kevin Walters. And the Dolphins, can you believe it, finished on top of the Broncos. Walsh, Reynolds, Haas, they missed some stars. Since then, Maguire comes in, Trent Barrett and Ben Teo. I think Ben Teo is going to be a good coup. Benny Hunt from the Dragons. A lot has changed at the place they call the Hill of the Red Variety, Brian.
Yes, I would expect them to be in the top 8, if not the top 4 this year.
Yeah.
Can
they win the comp?
Of course they can win the comp.
What's the main reason?
They can win the competition.
Madge Maguire.
Madge has obviously got something to do with it, but I still think that we haven't seen the best of Reece Walsh. He's only 22 years of age. We saw what he did a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Last year wasn't great. He had a few injuries. Everyone was out to get him, but he's too fast. Well, when they get that back line going and he's swooping out the back.
Yep.
He's just, if you're a back rower, you are panicstations.com.
But you know the other thing that I look at, Brian, and I know we're sort of waxing lyrically about the Eagles, but the reason I picked the Eagles was two things. Patrick Mahomes is a star, no doubt about that. But in the warm-up, he looked a bit off. Jalen Hurts had played in the Super Bowl before and scored 3 touchdowns. So he had shown that he knows the big stage. Reece Walsh, whilst he hasn't won a premiership, what about when he went that short side and sent Ezra away for his 3rd, I think it was, and State of Origin.
He did it in State of Origin the previous year.
So for me, there are players who can chip away, right? They can chip away all season, but what you really need is when the furnace is on, and the Panthers have shown this, you need those guys who have the mentality to handle the furnace. Many of their players can handle that furnace.
Absolutely, they've all played big games. The majority of this side. The fact now they've got, if Adam Reynolds goes down, which the last couple of years he's getting on a bit, injuries have crept into his game.
Yep,
they've got Ben Hunt.
Yeah,
to slot in at number 7, who was the leading try assist last year.
Yeah,
so they've got everything covered. Whether or not Ezra, they're saying Ezra is going to come back in round 10 or round whatever it is. What do you get? 8 weeks,
mate. You need Ezra.
I know that.
With Pappenhausen, he has the best instinct in the comp. If there's a try that's about to be scored, Pappenhausen and Ezra Mam are the 2 players in the comp who leave before everyone else. Yes. They know it's coming.
I feel that it could be, and I don't agree with it. I thought he should have had 12 months out of the game.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I thought that was the way they're going to do.
Yep.
But for whatever reason, he's got the 8 weeks back. Hopefully he comes back and understands how lucky he is that he gets to play this game professionally. So you would expect a big back end. They've just got too many stars not to be definitely in the top 8, but they should be in the top 4 with this side. They get the rub of the green up there playing a Thursday night or a Friday night every second week.
Yep.
A terrific coach. They've got everything at disposal. In fact, they should. If they're not top 4, it's a failure for me.
The coach. I keep telling you, when you're tipping things, your top 8 right now, it is the coaching. Madge Maguire had New Zealand and beat Australia 30-0. He beat Queensland and the guns of that. He done that. He's won in Super League. He's won in NRL. No coach in the history of the game has won NRL, Super League, State, International. I'm going to test out the maestro here. Crow me, please. Oh, he's good. He's good, Brian. If Ezra Mam, right? So he's going to spend 10 weeks out.
8
weeks out. He will either, there's one of 2 ways he goes. He will either be pushing for, he should have got the Clive last time. He'll either be pushing for the Clive, or we will never hear of Ezra Mam again.
I think it's the former.
I think it's the former. I think it's the former, because you've got to think about this. The pressure, he's not walking back into the 6. In the past, he would walk back into the 6. Now you've got Ben Hunt.
Benjamin.
You've got Adam Reynolds. You've got all these players there. I think it's the former. I think that he will come back absolutely raring to go. And I hope he does. I hope he does. And obviously got big thoughts for the family that what happened. But equally, he's still a young man, and people make mistakes, and everyone makes mistakes. Old people make mistakes. We make mistakes. I make mistakes. We all make mistakes. I hope he does come back, Brian.
Yeah, I think the Boyle reports he's training really well. Just back on your coach thing, are you worried about the rumours coming out that they're training too hard, or you just think that's just a bit of media build up?
Training too hard?
No, apparently there's been a bit of pushback.
Yeah, well, that comes down to, okay, this happened to the Tigers about 12 months ago. We're training too hard. That only comes out, and I need to investigate this properly, but that only comes out if you're, and I always joke about this, not joking about this, but all ships rise with the tide. If you're, like when you go back to the Melbourne Storm, Slater, Smith, Hoffman, those sorts of guys, Cronk, you couldn't train too hard for them. They were the leading group. So if anyone was whinging about it, they'd nip it in the bud.
Yep.
So the only reason that teams say they're training too hard is only because their playing group, the leadership group, is not strong enough. That's the only reason you ever hear about that.
Or it's someone who's on the outer who's leaked it to his manager, who then leaks it to the press. That's the other one. Someone who's not in their plans.
Okay, so you probably need 5 leaders, right? Or 4 leaders like the Melbourne Storm. Have they got a leadership group that is strong enough to not be training too hard? What do you think?
I think the inclusion of Ben Hunt and Adam Reynolds.
Okay.
But more so Ben Hunt.
Okay, no, but without knowing them intimately, who would be the Broncos? And I reckon I'll name the same.
Patrick Carrigan?
Yes.
Payne Haas?
Yes.
Payne Haas?
Yep.
Reynolds? Hunt. They'd have to put... Everyone else is... Yeah, that's who I'm putting down.
They'd be the 4 who would not be saying we're training too hard.
No.
You can't be training too hard. 1300 01 1170 is a way to have your say. Text 0457 736 736. Corey Oates retired. Jordan Pereira retired. Tristan Saylor off to St Helens. I tell you who's in for a good year, and he's a good player. Jesse, paint a picture about how it's going to be. Jesse Arthars can play.
Yeah, we like him.
Mate, his grand final was cheeky good when they played the Panthers.
Tough kid.
Yep.
But what about your man, Yusoi?
Yusoi. Yeah, no, he's a try scorer.
Are you feeling that I got a feeling he's going to play Selwyn on the ding.
Okay. I don't know.
I just feel he's going to... I feel Madge will put Selwyn on the wing, which means Katoni is the centres with Yusoi.
Yusoi, yeah. Could do. Could do. Hybrid, Brian. I don't hate the hybrid. You can do both, folks. 1300 01 1170. Just on Adam Reynolds, right? He's an unappreciated commodity. This guy, he was so close to winning against the Panthers. He was twice for South and for the Broncos.
I don't think he's underappreciated.
I do.
By whom?
I don't think he has the standing in the game that he warrants. Adam Reynolds. I don't. He's a gun.
I disagree. I think everyone knows. Yeah, because they fell off a cliff when he was out last year.
But
kicking game.
Daly Cherry Evans would have a far bigger standing in the game than
Daly Cherry Evans played 25 Origins for Australia.
Yeah. So with all the greatest respect, you don't think that if Adam Reynolds was Queenslander, he would have played a lot more than what he has?
No. I don't think no.
Okay.
No way. I think Daly Cherry Evans is a better halfback than Adam Reynolds.
I agree. I totally agree with that.
Well, what are you asking me then?
Well, I'm just saying.
If Ben Hunt was if Adam Reynolds was a Queenslander, no, he wouldn't have ousted Daly Cherry or Cooper.
Okay. Going back to what we were talking about before, he can handle the big moments. Adam Reynolds is a winner. Right?
He's played Origin.
Yeah, he's a winner. Anyway, 1300 01 1170. What happens to Stags? What happens to Cobbo? That's the big questions. Players to watch in 2025 before we break, Brian. Who've you got a keen eye on?
I want to see our man Willison. I'm desperate to see him.
Oh, yeah.
I love him.
Yeah.
6'6", big engine. I think this could be his breakout year.
Yeah. So, okay. Do you think they need another dummy half?
No.
Yeah.
We've got enough.
I'm in the Blake Moser camp. And I'm fascinated. I'm fascinated to see what happens with... They can't keep them all there. You can't keep Pakes. You can't keep Moser. You can't keep Ben Hunt. Billy Walters, and Tyson Smoothy. You can't all be there.
I feel there's some movement coming somewhere.
Yeah.
In the 9 jersey, whether on and it'll be at South Sydney.
We didn't really speak about our man at Canberra. I think there's some movement out of the Canberra camp too.
Oh, you mean Paddywhack?
Nick Paddywhack.
Yeah, he looked pretty good, didn't he?
He looked good.
Have you heard of him? Have you kept an eye on him?
No, I hadn't, to be honest.
No, neither have I.
No, I hadn't. I'm not claiming it either, Brian.
No.
Now that he's been seen, I didn't really know a lot about Owen Paddy.
You just don't want to get caught up in trial games. That's all.
Overreaction Monday. We a lot of people get too carried away. You listen to the Run Home with Joel and Fletch on SEN. The Hyundai keys to summer event is on now. Brian, before we break, Broncos finish where?
Broncos finish 4th.
I'll go with you.
If not even higher.
Okay, Lanto higher.
You're still here? We'll see more on the Joel and Fletch socials and catch us live on SEN Radio. Because if you don't, you're an A grade. But if you do, you're the absolute Mickey.